I'd like to bring the meeting to order. This is the Historic District Commission. The date is December 9th, 2021. The time is 4:15. And this meeting was noticed in the Fairfield Citizen on Friday, November 26th, 2021. And can we take attendance? I'll go around. We'll start with Chris Shea.
Here.
Thank you. Rosina Negron.
Rosina Negron here.
Darren Raymond Locke.
Darren Raymond Locke here.
Art Gravanis. I don't see him on the list. Not present. George Clark called and said he was going to be late. He's in traffic. Alyssa Stack.
Alyssa Stack, present.
Thank you. Jim Bohan.
James P. Bohan, alternate delegate present.
Thank you. And I'm Adam Cliver, Commissioner. First item on the agenda is for that voting alternates is Clark, Stack, Bohan. I think we have. We'll be using for this first application, since George Clark is not here, Alyssa Stack will be voting. And the application is for the town of Fairfield, 725 Old Post Road in Fairfield, for property located at 7025 Old Post Road in Fairfield, and it's for add 6 feet of fence on both sides of dumpster enclosure. Is someone present for town of Fairfield? I think you're muted, James.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, there you go.
Yep. Yes, you can hear me now. Thank you. Sorry. Yeah, just we have a dumpster enclosure located behind the Independence Hall. It's more visible from 125 Penfield. I included some pictures. I'm not too privy on how to share them, and I'm a little afraid to try. Is there something you can
Okay, you want me to help?
me? Yes, please.
Sure, hang on 1 second.
So as you're doing that, just a little introduction. James Ryan, Department of Public Works, Building Maintenance Manager. There's a generator / dumpster enclosure behind Independence Hall that's more visible from 125 Penfield. And it needs to get larger, about 6 feet. So in this plan that was added, yep, it's right there. And it basically, if we were able to zoom in, you would see that it's got little hash marks where we are going to extend it 6 feet. And then to include, yep, perfect. So it's going to come out towards Penfield Road, 6 feet. And we still need to remain, that door still needs to remain. So there's two, if you go to the pictures, they're a little zoomed in, but there you go. So basically we're going to take those doors and move them 6 feet closer to Penfield Road to enclose the generator and an additional tank that is required. With basically fence material to match the existing pine. It'll be 10 feet high with 8x8 posts. I can add that we've discussed this further since I put the application in. We will add some evergreens for some screening, but those doors still have to operate, so probably on the north side of that fence. And we will be staining anything added to match, if that's part of your concerns.
Okay, anything else?
I think that's it.
Okay. Chris, do you want to start? Any questions?
Yeah, James, thanks for your presentation. I wasn't clear on why you're adding evergreens, and it doesn't have that as part of your application. So I'm just wondering if they're needed. Maybe you said you had a conversation with somebody about this, so maybe I just wasn't in a loop on that. But I mean, this is screening for something, so I don't know that we need to screening, but I
So
could
it's
be off
correct.
base on that.
Thanks, Chris. You're right. It's not part of the application. Just that there's been, walkthroughs of, the Burr Garden and stuff like that. And that area to the north of that enclosure is a little rough, to say the least, but that's where the discussion came up.
Okay, that was my only comment. Thank you for your presentation.
Thanks, Chris. Rosina?
No comment. Thank you.
Darren?
No comments, thanks.
Alyssa?
Thanks. I don't have any questions.
Great. Jim?
Jim, can you elaborate on what this photograph is a view? This is a view from Penfield Road?
Yeah, I mean, yes, it is it's the vantage point from the street of what you're looking at, and it's just to grasp the idea of how deep it is away from, visibility from the street.
Penfield Road. Okay,
from the
thank you
road.
very much. That clarifies. Thank you. No other questions.
Thank you, Jim. James, I don't have any questions. And I think if you wanted to screen it, I know it's not part of the application and it doesn't need to be, but it might soften that fencing, that enclosure from the street view. Okay, 1 second. Let's figure out. Stop sharing. Stop. Oh, shoot. I did not receive any in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters opposing this application. I don't see anyone from the public present, so that the hearing is closed. Thank you, James.
Thank you. Have a nice night.
Thank you too. George Clark is present. George, you will be voting on the next application, which is Old South LLC, 171 Old South Road in Southport, for property located at 171 Old South Road in Southport for A, change previously approved cupola windows to louvers. B, change previously approved path light fixtures. C, automatic drive gates. And D, moved previously approved outdoor kitchen.
Adam, can you hear me?
Yes. Hi, Jack.
Good evening, everyone. This is Jack France, and I'm representing Fred Ryan on this project. And I will start out with the cupola, and I'm going to share my screen. Cupola is located on the garage, and you may have noticed there is a cupola there, but it's temporary just to cover up the hole, because we started to order the windows for the cupola, and they were going to be 20 weeks, something like that. And the client has decided also he doesn't care about light coming in from the cupola. So he suggested that we put louvers in instead. And I said, well, I think that would be just as appropriate as the windows. In fact, the little barn that's behind his house, I think, has a similar cupola with louvers in it. So what we're proposing to do is use the same rough opening, put louvers in. They're going to be wood, and we will not have to wait much longer to do that, because I believe the louvers that he wants to use are in stock or readily available. We're also proposing to change the lighting that we had approved before. I had requested approval for some genie house lights, which are, they're dark bronze or darkish bronze. And what we would like to substitute are these aurora lights. They're a mushroom style. They're 16 inches high. They're made of copper, and they are very, very well made. I've used these on a couple other projects. The copper will turn dark very quickly in this location. The light source and the light is an LED, and it'll be 2700 Kelvin, which is the color of incandescent light. And these lights are designed so that the light goes down on the ground. It doesn't shoot out horizontally. We're also proposing to relocate the barbecue or the outdoor kitchen, and it's going to be smaller as well. It's a much simpler arrangement. We had it approved before to be off the patio. We'd now like to move it over behind the mechanical closure. There's going to be evergreens in front of the fence, and then all the mechanicals, and then there's another hedge here. So I think it's already going to be very well screened by what's there to be installed. And this version will have just a grill, stainless steel grill, and a stone pedestal. And the stonework will be, this type of, New England field stone with a horizontally coursed random coursing native field stone. And lastly, we are asking to put in a gate, motorized gate. The gate's going to be made of wood. It's going to have pickets that'll be spaced out the same way as the pickets on the fence that's there. And the gates will align, they'll be in the same line. So when you go to the site plan, you will see, here's the existing fence line, and here are the gates. The gates are going to be 15 feet wide, so each gate is about 7.5 feet, and they swing inward. And I believe that covers everything. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you have.
Thank you, Jack. Rosina?
No questions. Thank you.
Darren?
No questions, thank you.
George?
Excuse me, Jack, nice presentation. Question, what is our max height on lights?
So I believe it's 16 inches.
Okay, I just want to confirm.
And if these, you can, if you have to, I think you can shorten those
Right.
spindles.
I think that's been done before. That's
Yeah.
Those lights have been used a lot.
Yeah, but I think that's sort of a normal height because it works in snow. Most of the time you don't get, luckily we don't get more than 16 inches of snow regular basis.
I think all the things you are doing are good improvements. The cupola is a little cupola. I think the windows in it are they're a little jarring. I think the louvers will be much more soft. Will be softer. So
yeah, I think it's more in keeping with what's
Yeah.
already there behind it.
So Jack, thank you.
Melissa?
No questions for me, thanks.
And Jim?
Just a question, Jack. How many of those lights will there be? Just for
There's
my own
going to be,
curiosity.
in the front, by the front porch, there are two. By the sidewalk against the driveway, there are two. So there's four in the front of the house.
Okay.
You might recall in the time that I came before, I had two more by the front porch, which we were asked to eliminate, which we did.
That's easy to remember.
And then we have the same number in the rear, I believe, as before. We have two by the garage. We have two by the patio on the south side, two by the patio on the house side, and one other flanking the gate that goes into the patio. So on the back, there are, let's see, 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. In the front, there are 4.
Okay, thank you very much. No other questions.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Jack, I don't have any questions at this time, and I did not receive any letters in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters opposing this application. Oh, sorry, Chris.
Thanks, Adam.
Chris Shea, I miss you.
Yeah, just I had a couple of quick items. On the lights, Jack, is it the same quantity that was previously approved?
Yes.
Okay, just wanted to
As we
clarify.
had before, we had two. We had one here and one here, which were sort of redundant, and we got rid of them.
Okay, yeah, okay. And on the gate, the entry gate, if you could go to the elevation, that's the street elevation, is it possible to make the bottom rail of the gates the same as the bottom rail of the fence, and then make the top rail of the gate the same as the top rail of the fence? I mean, it looks like you're kind of going for a very, homogeneous type of look there. And so, since the gate has kind of a rectangle style and rail frame on each leaf, I wonder if the top rail of the gate could be the same as the top rail of the fence, and similarly the bottom rail of the gate is the same as the bottom rail of the fence.
Yeah, what I could do is probably, I think the bottom rail, I think, is the same width as the bottom rail on the fence. At least that's how.
It doesn't look like it on the street elevation. It looks like it's a little narrower.
Yeah.
I'm drawing EL1.
Yeah, the intent was to, I think it's just, it may be set a little lower for some reason, but the intent would be to line those rails up. And then maybe that when they build it, they can make the, they might need to put a piece of wood behind for strength, but they could put the piece on the front to match what's on the front of the fence.
I think that would look really nice.
Yeah, and I noticed this same exact, almost exact gate was installed on Harbor Road, and it looks great, but I think it would look better if that top rail were somehow made to look more like the fence rail on the top.
Okay. And I have no further questions. I think the cupola with the louvers looks really nice. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. So Jack, there's no steel in this gate?
I think the hinges, like the on the back side, they're big iron hinges that stick out that hold it.
There's no tube steel, like
maybe
in
there's
the-
even
in-
some
in the
steel
panels?
hidden in between the wood. I don't know how they built the one on Harbor Road, but I sort of followed that
Yeah.
look.
Typically, they have steel in them, and they're wrapped.
It looks like there's a
They're a
diagonal
lot, they're a lot of
brace.
weight.
Looks
Yeah.
like there's a diagonal brace behind it, with the dashed line.
Yeah, we do have a brace there. I mean, I've seen them done both ways. These aren't terribly long. They're 7.5 feet. So, but the only
Okay.
hardware you're going to see will be the hinges. You're not going to see any exposed steel if it's necessary.
Okay. Like I was saying before, I didn't receive any letters in favor of the application, and I did not receive any letters opposing the application, so the hearing is closed. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you very much.
Next item on the agenda is Mr. and Mrs. Robert C. Wright, 260 Harbor Road, for property located at 260 Harbor Road in Southport for install new generator.
Hi, I'm John Wazalewski. I'm with David Scott Parker Architects, and I'm representing the owners, Bob and Susan Wright, who own the property at 260 Harbor Road. And I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. Okay. Can everyone see my screen okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Great. Okay, so there is already an existing generator that's located in this exact location. And the owner went to have it replaced, and they found that the existing generator had never been permitted, and so had never been reviewed and approved by HDC. So in the process of applying to install the replacement generator, we are here before you to get permission. The proposal is to put the generator in the same location to the side of the property, which is already very heavily planted. Again, as a reminder, the front of the house and the location where the generator is would be over here. What you see here is the latest approved front image of the house with the proposed fencing and arbors that are scheduled to go into construction. So again, looking at some of the site photos, this first image is from the neighbor's property. I'm looking at this, heavily shrubbed side of their driveway. And if you can see here, dotted in red is where the existing generator is, behind all of these trees. And then from the front, this is the new fencing that was just approved and installed. You can see again, dotted in red, this is where the generator is, and it's very difficult to see through the brush. And the intention here is that this fence would get heavily planted with roses like the rest of the existing fencing that's further down towards the front of the house. So, once this grows in more next season, it'll be even harder to see through here. From the front gate, again, dotted in red is the approximate location of the generator concealed behind the shrubs. And then this is standing really right in front of the shrubs, and I can just barely make out, you can see here this little sort of white between the bushes, that's actually the existing generator. If I pull the shrubs back, this is what I see, that's existing. And then this is the proposed. The new generator is about the same size as the existing. It's a little over 6 feet long. It's 35 inches wide, and it is overall height of 46 inches. That's it.
Okay, thank you. Karen, do you have any questions?
Hi, John. That was really,
Hi.
really good. I really appreciate all the photos that you took. That makes it a lot clearer. Thank you. No questions.
George? George Clark? You're muted, George.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. That was a great presentation. Thank you very much, and I have no questions. Thank you.
Thank you, George. Melissa?
No questions for me, thanks.
Thank you. Jen?
Yeah, the shrubs do appear to effectively screen the generator. I'm just wondering, installing the new generator, how much surgery will they have to do on those shrubs? And how quickly
Well,
will they recover?
that's a great question. Well, it's obviously, it's gonna be installed from their side. They don't wanna see the generator any more than you do,
Right.
especially since they're right next to it. The one thing I'll say is, if we, as indication of what what they'll do, let me just go back to, one of the photos. I'm sorry, hold on, I should have done this first. I'm gonna share screen again, and, so this is, oh, okay. So you may remember that they just added this addition last year, okay?
That's
And at the time that they did the addition, all the shrubs came all the way, it came up pretty far. And so that whole side of the property was disrupted. And yet you can't really tell when you look at the property now. You look at this, everything has been really carefully healed in. So, and they're very, they're particular people. So rest assured, by the time they're back, and in residence, this will look like this again. So
Is it is the new generator substantially larger than the old one?
no, it's the same size.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much. No other
You're
questions.
very, very welcome.
Thank you.
Chris,
I have no questions. Great presentation as always, John. Thank you.
Thank you.
and Rosina?
No questions. Thanks.
Great. And I don't have any questions either, John. It's pretty straightforward. Did not receive any letters in favor of this application, and I did not receive any letters opposing this application, so the hearing's closed. Thank you.
Thank you for your time.
Okay, moving on. The consideration of the items. Start with the town of Fairfield. 725 Old Post Road in Fairfield for property located at 725 Old Post Road in Fairfield to A, at 6 feet of fence on both sides of dumpster enclosure. And in terms of alternates, I believe it's Alyssa Stack is on this application, voting on this application. Can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve as presented.
I'll second.
Alyssa first. Darren seconds.
Yes.
Discussion?
I just didn't know.
No discussion? Fine.
Yeah, it's Chris. Not sure how to handle the comment about the evergreen screening and whether or not we need to add that to the motion if somebody wanted that to happen.
Well, I don't think it's required in this case. It's an existing enclosure that isn't screened at the moment. I think it'd be nice if they did, but I don't think we need to require it. I mean, that's my opinion anyway.
Yeah, I agree with that. I just was bringing it up because it was mentioned and it sounded as though there was discussion about it with somebody, and I'm not sure whether that's an expectation or not.
Anyone else? Okay. All right, unless you have any other discussion, Chris?
Nope.
Okay, let's take a vote then. All in favor? All opposed, not opposed, abstentions, none. Motion passes unanimously. Second item on the agenda is Old South Road LLC, 171 Old South Road in Southport, for property located at 171 Old South Road in Southport. 2A, change previously approved cupola windows to louvers. B, change previously approved path lights, fixtures. C, automatic drive gates. And D, remove previously approved outdoor kitchen. And George Clark will be voting on this application. May I have a motion? You're muted, George.
I'll make the motion to approve A, B, and D as presented, and C with the stipulation that the gate rails match the fence rails.
I'll second.
Second, yeah.
Okay, Rosina makes a motion and Darren seconds. The stipulation that the gates match the fence. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yes.
The gate rails, yes.
Okay, gate rails match fence. Discussion?
If I look at Jack's pictures or image, it looks like there are rails on the front, on the street side of the fence or of the gate, but there are not rails on the front of the fence as it goes down the street. Right, the rails are behind. So, are you proposing that there be no rails on the street side of the pickets on the gates?
Oh,
Well,
the drawing shows rails, top and bottom
There's a
rails,
ho-
pickets.
There's a horizontal, yeah.
on the street side.
Yeah,
So it would be a little different. The rails may have the same shape, but there'll be rails on the street side. Just to be clear.
I don't know. I see rails on the outside of the fence.
yeah,
George.
me too.
I'm looking at it.
I'm
So
looking at
oh, you're looking at it
the
like
application.
literally?
Yeah.
Are you looking at it across the street?
Yep.
Well, what they have drawn here has rails that are on the exterior of the fence.
The street elevation of the fence.
Yeah.
1 second. One second.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. I'm corrected. Yeah, I couldn't see the dark.
Okay. Phew. Okay. Good.
So that's fine.
Okay.
Okay. Any other comments? Discussion? All right. No more discussion. Let's take a vote. All in favor? All opposed? None opposed? No abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is Mr. and Mrs. Robert C. Wright, 260 Harbor Road in Southport, for property located at 260 Harbor Road in Southport, to install new generator. And Jim Bohan will be voting on this application.
Got it. Thank you.
I'll make the motion to approve as presented. Oh,
I'll second.
Darren makes the motion and Rosina seconds. Discussion? No discussion? Then we'll take a vote. All in favor? All opposed? None opposed? No abstentions? The motion passed unanimously. Okay, that was the quickest meeting in a long time, or the quickest going through the public hearings anyway. Next on the agenda is to approve minutes, and I'd like to get, Sheila brought this to my attention that we have not approved the special meeting from November 11th. And we need a 2/3 vote to get it on the application. So I'd like to make a motion to add the minutes from November 11th special meeting to the agenda. Darren, Rosina, Chris, and George were present.
I'll second.
Yeah.
Okay, Darren seconds, and all in favor?
Yep.
Yeah, the motion passes unanimously. November 8th? Shoot. Sheila, did we already approve November 11th?
The special meeting was the 8th, because I know that I couldn't make that date.
Yeah, the 11th is on the agenda for approval tonight.
11th is tonight. We have to approve tonight.
It's the 18th we have to
November-
approve tonight.
Yeah, the
No, the
11th.
18th is when we have to approve.
Yeah, 11/18.
The 11th was the special meeting with the training session, State Historic Preservation. I know we did have two special meetings. Hang on one second.
It was the 8th. It was a Monday.
Oh, it was the 8th? Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
The 11th on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll make another motion, or I will amend my motion, even though I guess I'll make another motion to approve the minutes from November 8th special meeting.
I'll second.
Oh, I did write it down there. I'm losing it. Okay. Darren seconds it. All in favor? Okay. Motion passed unanimously. 11-8. Thank you. And I think I have the right attendance. If you were there, I guess you'd remember. But, okay. So let's first make it a motion to approve the minutes from 11/18/21.
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll second it.
Aaron makes a motion to approve, and George seconds. All in favor? All opposed? None opposed? No abstentions? Motion passes unanimously. And the motion to approve minutes from 11/8/21.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Aaron makes a motion to approve. 2 seconds? George
Sure.
seconds?
Yep.
George seconds. Okay, all in favor? All opposed? None opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Next item on the agenda is the chairman report repairs. We have 669 Harbor Road to replace light fixtures in kind. We have 241 Harbor Road to repair existing picket fence. There are no violations that I'm aware of. Old business discussion on handbook revisions, I guess. Hopefully we can make some headway in the new year, 2022. Anybody else have anything to add to the handbook? I don't think nothing's really happened. I haven't had a chance to do anything, so.
No, I'm waiting on a
Yeah.
couple of things from other people. I've started making the revisions that I said I would, but I got distracted by doing the annual reports because they were kind of very pressing to make sure we kept up with CLG status.
Yeah, it's more important. So we've lost a little momentum on the handbook, but I think we should hopefully, it'd be nice to get that resolved in the beginning of this year.
Yeah.
And then the update on the annual report, Darren has completed the needed reports from, what was it, 2018, 2019, and
2019, 2020, and then this past year's 20 to
2020.
21. They're all in. They're all with Gary
which
Dunn.
was it's a much bigger task than I imagined, because it requires all the votes and all the applications and the votes have to be incorporated. So Darren has done a ton of work there. So we appreciate your work. It's been great. Thank you. Next, we have to elect our officers for this coming year. I'm happy to remain chair if the commission agrees. I think Chris has offered to step down as vice chair and offer Rosina that position if the commission agrees with that. And I think Darren is willing to take on the clerk position if the commission is willing to do that. So I guess I'll make the first motion. I'm sorry, discussion?
I was going to say I could make a motion to approve the suggested slate of officers as presented by the chairperson. Adam as chair, Rosina as vice chair, and Darren as clerk. If we can do them all in one motion.
We could do that. That'd be great. I'd like to second that.
Need a second.
I'll second that. We
Okay.
can move on. I'll second.
George Clark seconds that.
Yep.
Okay. All in favor?
Thank you all very much for
All
your
right.
willingness to do that work. It's great.
Yeah, thank you. I know Darren is all over the annual report, which is great. She's willing to take it on again. It will be easier this year.
Little stress tear rolls down my cheek.
Okay, so did everyone get to see the meeting dates, proposed meeting dates for 2022?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Everybody checked my dates. I didn't use Veterans Day again or something like that, another holiday. I think I got it all correct.
I do have a question though. I'm looking at this picture now. It looks like there's a January 9th sort of hovering in the public hearings. And then January 13th, 2022 is right below it. Is it just a formatting thing? I'm not quite sure what that January 9th is all about.
Yeah, you're right.
Hang on a second.
I don't think that's supposed to be there.
That's a Sunday.
Yeah.
I think it's a typo.
So something is messed up.
Oh, that was on last year's too. It was on the 2021 calendar.
Okay.
And are these going to continue to be virtual meetings?
For the time being, yeah.
Okay, good.
Just because not of the the new variant and the rate, the infection rate going up and stuff. There's no reason to go. We're always going to have the virtual meeting, I think, moving forward. The question is, it's going to be hybrid, like maybe we're meeting in person and it's being broadcast virtually as well. I'm not 100% sure. Okay, so it's this down here that you're talking about, Melissa?
I'm sorry, what was the question? Yeah,
You
the
made
January,
a comment about
January 9th
January
at the very top of the column.
Oh,
Yes.
that come from?
Yeah, I think it's just a typo. It's probably left over from an old
Forgot to delete.
An old file.
Oops. Yeah, that's strange. I don't know.
Looks like you just
Oh,
might
it's
have forgotten.
on the last one. It was on last year's as well. Why didn't I catch that? It's so weird. But it's not on
Well,
here.
We all didn't catch it, so not just you.
But you know what? It's not on my Word document. But somehow it ended up on the this document. That's so strange. Yeah, that is it. That's not supposed to be there. That's not part of the public hearing dates.
So can we still approve as presented as long as we understand that July 9th isn't supposed to be there?
January. Right.
Yeah. Let me take it off here.
Okay.
January 9th.
January 9th. Yes. Thank you.
So,
Yeah, I don't know. Oops. So now it's not really even recognizing it. It's like it's so weird. Oh wait, here we go.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we need to change December 22nd.
Yep,
That's should be 2021, correct?
correct. Under the filing deadlines.
Wow. See, what would I do without you guys? Like missing everything. So that looks good. 2021. Yep.
I think you got it all.
Okay, if this looks good to you guys, then can we get a motion to approve it?
I'll make a motion to approve.
And I'll support that motion with a second if you'll resend it.
Resend it to the commission? Yes, I will.
Thank you.
Okay, all in favor? All opposed, none opposed, no abstentions, and the motion passes. And we have our meeting dates for 2022. They're set in stone, so. Okay, all we need is a motion to adjourn.
I'll make the motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
George makes a motion to adjourn. Darren seconds. All in
No,
favor?
Rosina second. I just raised my hand
Sorry,
prematurely.
Rosina. Rosina second. All right, we are adjourned.